The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you were the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality. This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
Pay's checkout is offered by your banks and credit unions. So when you shop online at participating merchants, your cards appear in one place. Pay's. It checks out. Activation required. See Pays.com to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
Brain again, and he's got it!
Gavin was closing in. Oh, Gavin has scored!
Abdul Osman against Brad Jones to put Liverpool out of the cup, and Northampton 3! Northampton get it!
Hello and welcome to It's All Cobblers to Me. I'm Charles and welcome to our 9th season covering the fortunes of Northampton Town. Whether this is your first time listening or you've been here for a while, thank you for choosing to spend some time with us. Joining me today is my fellow Cobblers fan, Danny. Hi, Danny.
Hello. We're back. We never really went away, did we? But we're back in Cobbler land.
Yeah, we're back in. We've left the World Cup.
Yeah, leave that behind.
Prematurely.
Yes.
And just like England, and have gone back to Northampton with our tail between our legs.
All is forgiven. It's funny, isn't it? Because we all needed the World Cup pod to distract us from the Cobblers, and now we need the Cobblers pod to distract ourselves from England.
It is exactly that.
But a final win, a bronze final win yesterday. So there we go. We left too soon. We got off the boat too soon before we could claim the bronze. Hey. That was a ding-dong to end all ding-dongs, wasn't it, that one?
It was, wasn't it? The highest scoring bronze medal match or whatever they call it in World Cup history. Not surprised.
It must be close to the highest scoring match, mustn't it, in terms of
you would have thought so.
Men's World Cup.
10 goals.
Yeah. 10 goals, ding-dongs.
We pretty good.
Yeah, very nearly threw it away. We were kind of... Neil's obviously obsessed with the 4-4, so we were... Yes. When it was quite fun to think, actually, we might get it in this one. But England didn't even let us have that, did they? So
no. At 4-3, I must admit, I was torn.
Yeah, Natalie Imbruglia was doing the rounds at that point, wasn't she?
Absolutely, she was. Yeah, she was in my head. But it was the version. Do you remember the one at the Secret Policeman's Ball where they had a British Sign Language? Have you seen that video? It's from years and years ago.
Yes, I think I have.
It's a sign language person doing, the sign language to the song, and then all of a sudden Natalie Imbruglia joins in.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. That's a great video. Hunt it out. It's probably 20 years old now, that. But anyway.
Does that mean halfway through the pod, Natalie Imbruglia is going to come out and join us?
Just join us and sing along. Be brilliant, that, wouldn't it? 9 seasons, Danny.
This is our 9th, is it? Or is this the 10th?
This will be the 9th. Yeah. One away from a testimonial, which I'm sure that you would pick up on straight away. Yeah. If you were to have a testimonial for the podcast, who would it be against?
I think it'd have to be someone we know quite well, wouldn't it? A popular figure, no one that we don't like. Someone like Mansfield Matters, I think, would be a good one. Just because we've got a lot of history with him. We love Craig Priest.
Yes. We do.
He's dedicated enough to record with us from the front of a car, in the middle of fireworks night with his dog in the back and classical music playing in the background. I think that would be a decent shout. That or Farley, maybe. Maybe Farley would. Yeah. Farley would bring the fun for a testimonial as well, wouldn't he? Craig would bring the fun games. Farley would just bring the vibes.
See, I wonder whether, because there's obviously, 4 of us that make this, Neil and Chesney aren't here this evening while we're recording, but therefore we maybe need 4 people from different podcasts. So we've got 2, I think, in Craig and Farley, who is, of course, Stevenage FC podcast.
Can we get those 2 posh fans who came on the first?
No.
Get it back in.
We can't get. Was that the yellow block? I think they were.
I don't know what they're, the sluggy block.
I don't know who they were. Whatever. No, Gab Sutton?
He can be the ref.
He can be the ref, right? Okay.
We'll have a little 4-a-side game on the 3 pitch.
I think Jake Tong from
Jake Tong. What's his name? I hope he's not listening. Burton.
Ed Walker.
Ed Walker,
Yes, I think that's our 4,
Get
isn't
him in
it?
there. Yeah.
You've got to go with those 4 versus us 4. Which of us would be Keith Welsh in a decade?
Did you always say Keith Chegwin then?
I did almost say Keith Chegwin. You're quite right.
I think Neil would be in the deck chair.
I do too. Yeah. For those of you that are younger listeners,
he might fall off.
Keith Welsh.
He might fall off.
Brilliant. Yeah, he might fall off it. To be fair, yeah. And that's Neil, not Keith Welsh. He was very, very comfortable, wasn't he? Where he was.
He was. Yeah.
In that, whose testimonial was that? Was that Samo?
I can't remember. I think it might have been Samo's. Yeah, and he came on with a newspaper, didn't he, in a chair, and
he did.
Pretty sure he had some false moustache and stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, over the top of his real one. Yeah. Great fun. Yeah. Brilliant. I absolutely love that. Well, look, it's a brand new season coming up. And I know we say this all the time, but while it's free to listen to It's All Cobblers to Me, it isn't free for us to make. We all love making the podcast, but that isn't possible without your help. So if you can, and you would like to, you can support the podcast by joining our Patreon. For less than the cost of a pint at the match, Patreon provides all episodes without any ads, extra episodes, and access to our fabulous community of Cobblers fans. You can get all of that and more for just £5 a month and be supporting the making of It's All Cobblers to Me as well. Go to patreon.com/Cobblers to Me right now and use the code SHOE1, that's SHOE, and then the number 1 to get 90% off your first month.
Blimey.
Yes.
You say that about it's less than a pint at the match. Neil was seeing reports of a £7.50 pint from them.
I was perplexed.
Yeah, I didn't go down to Carlsbad before, but Neil has spread a rumour that there was a £7.50 pint on offer outside the ground. So let us know if that's.
It was specifically the outside bar.
Yes,
at Carl,
I think so.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it was maybe an Australia.
Yes, I think that's right.
It was the drink. So you can it's a premium lager, I would call, in Australia. But I mean, I will say £7 odd is a ridiculous amount of money for any kind of beverage.
Yeah, not having that.
So yeah, for a lot less than a pint of Australia, allegedly.
Yeah, we'll keep it allegedly for now until someone can confirm that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Allegedly, if we're wrong, we will humbly hold our hands up. And
Neil will. We won't. Neil will.
Neil will. Yeah, we won't. We just as I said, allegedly. SHOE1. Get 90% off your first month at patreon.com/Cobblers to Me. Danny, you went to the Coventry friendly.
Yes, we're back.
We are back. Did you feel like a little bit of a minority?
Well, because the 3 sides full of Coventry fans. Yeah. I did.
Yeah. I want to ask you about that, because is it really good business from the Cobblers, i.e., just take as much money as we can by therefore just letting Coventry fans take and buy loads and loads of tickets? Or is it a bit, and I'm going to use the word or the phrase, is it a bit tin pot that we basically decided at home to allow ourselves to become the away side?
No, because considering the amount of home fans there were anyway, we did easily fit in the West Stand, so it would have just been empty anyway, right? So to me, if you're going to fill it with Coventry fans, it's not a competitive fixture. Let them enjoy what they used to have a few years ago when there were probably more Coventry fans there on Saturday than there was back in their days of sharing Sixfields with us. So let them enjoy it.
I always forget that, I do. I forget the fact that Coventry shared Sixfields with us.
Yeah. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
It wasn't. They weren't happy about it, were they? Which of course they weren't. But
they weren't happy. I mean, the way that I would look at it in hindsight with this is that they weren't going to play at what was back then the Rico Arena. Now is it the Coventry Building Society Arena?
CBS,
now, I think? Yeah. They weren't going to be able to play there, and it was to do with the fact that the ownership of the stadium was different to the ownership of the football club. I think they had both been the same owners at one point. But yeah, the club got sold, but the stadium stayed in the hands of the previous owners, and they were going to charge a ridiculous amount of rent or something like that. So we gave them a place to play, because otherwise they were going to get kicked out of the EFL because they didn't have anywhere to play, right?
Yes.
So while it was probably good business from us, to then therefore take some rent from another club, and I completely understand why the Coventry fans didn't like it, but without that sharing of a ground happening, Coventry may not have been a league club, and you never know what might have happened to them at that point. So
exactly,
we gave them that time to stabilise, right?
You could say we helped them along their way to the Premier League, and they owe us a fair chunk of that. So
yeah, I think that's fair for us to say. We haven't got anything else to shout about at the moment, Danny. Might as well claim something.
Hey, we've got a little bit. Come on.
Yeah. So this was the first time then that you had sight of any of the new look signings, the new team.
Yeah.
What did you make of it? It's very early days. Let's point that out straight away. There's not really anything that you read into this. But I think because you were on the podcast Twitter, and I think the things that you sort of said at full time and at half time were, very unbiased and just fairly factual, but there was detail in that in terms of how defensively solid we looked.
Yeah, which is what the base to build on, right? And I know this is going to be a bit of a process to rebuild the whole squad, and I think part of the reason that I wanted to go is to shake off the cobwebs a little bit in terms of this Cobblers squad. I wanted to go and see the newbies. I wanted to make sure I try and get as much PTSD from last season out my system before this new season starts. I want to see the new guys in action, and just to see kind of really how Chris Hogg set the team up as well, because it's obviously new manager, new setup, new players, see how the old players are reacting to him. And for the most part, I think we did really well against a decent Coventry team. They're obviously right at the beginning of their pre-season as well. But they had a decent team out, like a lot of the players that played in the Championship last season and got them that promotion. You could tell their quality, obviously, on the ball, off the ball, that kind of stuff. So it was always going to be a game where I think our defence was going to be really tested quite early on in pre-season, and our shape was going to be tested. But I think we passed all those tests if that was what we're looking at. Obviously, there's going to be stuff to work on going forward, but I don't think this was the game for that. It was more, let's get our shape right, let's get the basics almost right, and let's get where we need to be on the pitch right. And I think from that respect, Chris Hogg will be pretty happy with how we did, because the back four I thought were solid for the most part. There was a couple of moments in the first half where we did start to play out from the back, and within about 2 minutes of each other, Moore gave the ball away, and then Guthrie gave the ball away. And I was like, oh, don't. I was sat there with Rich, one of our patrons, and we were like, oh, this is going to be there's going to be a lot of heart in mouth moments this season if this is the way it's going to be. Didn't really happen again as much, but it was one of those one of those new things you look at on goal kicks, where we've got two central defenders in our box, and we're passing it short to them and trying to build out from the back, and you think, I've always been of the mentality of, if you haven't got the players to do that, don't do it. So time
and let's be honest, anyone below the top six in the Premier League
essentially
in this country does not have the players for it. And do it.
And in League Two, you don't expect to have it either. So it's going to be interesting to see how that comes about. But yeah, good to see the new players. And I thought for the most part they all did pretty well. To be fair,
I did wonder when you said. I mean, the first reaction that I actually had when you messaged us saying that we'd done that whole like defender passes it to the goalkeeper, goal kick type thing. My first reaction was to sort of go, oh God, no, what are we doing? But I then did think to myself, is it because of the fact that we're playing a team that is going to expect that to happen to them in the Premier League as well. I'm not suggesting that Coventry asked us to do that way. What I'm saying is, did we feel like, well, Coventry will probably actually sit off us because they'll be more used to that happening than saying in a League Two or a League One, you expect more blood and thunder in terms of the press, I think, from those kind of things. Because I think the opposition team, doesn't matter whether it's us or a different team, but if they see their opposition messing about like that at goal kicks or whatever at the back, they're kind of like, right, well, we're just going to get into them because we'll cause them to make a mistake, and they go blood and thunder with it. Whereas, in the Premier League, it's not half-hearted, of course, but the players are better equipped to be able to play out from the back in the first place. So the press doesn't look as effective that often, whereas I think the press often comes out on top, I would say 99 times out of 100, probably in League Two, for instance, is definitely a much higher percentage where the team out of possession does better than the team that had the goal kick in the first place in that in that case.
Yeah, it's definitely one to watch, though, I think, in terms of how we're going to do that in future friendlies as well, whether we carry that on or not. But one thing I will say about the defence as well, it was Maxwell, the new guy at the back. We had Wormo at right back. I thought he had a really good game at right back. And then you had Guthers and Moore in the middle. And I think straight away I'm looking at that back four thinking it's a lot more kind of defensive, I guess, than last season. We haven't got the full backs bombing on. So that's something to notice about the new Hogg system.
And it's a back four.
It's a back as well. 4-4-2. Essentially, it was. And Maxwell's definitely a left back, full back kind of thing, rather than a Guinness Walker who bombs on. Wormo was doing the same at the right. I think he can bomb on if he wants to, but he just wasn't. So it was more of a flat back four. But you could see that that's what Hogg wanted from this game, is that test of defensive mentality, and that's what we got. I was looking at it and thinking how many times we changed our back four or back five last season. If we can almost use this as a template and be like, right, this is who our back four are. I really hope that this is one thing the Hogg changes. Get that back four in place. If it's going to be a back four, get it in place. Who's the right back? Who's the left back? Who's the two centre backs from the start? That's the ones I'm going with. Obviously, there's going to be injuries, suspensions and stuff, but I'd like to see that continuity a bit more next season, because it was just ridiculous last season, the amount of times, like 60, 70 minutes, central defenders were coming off. It's not normal. And if we can have a fit back four that just go for it from the start and are like, these are the ones that are going to start for me, then all the better, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we will probably closer to the actual start of the season sort of talk about what we might expect from our starting 11, but it's interesting, we went with Guthrie and Moore in this one to start off with. That leaves McCarthy, obviously, who did play in the second half, and then I think, did he limp off at some point?
He got injured,
as well,
just kind of wandered off. It didn't seem to be anything specific that happened. It just something seemed to happen, so maybe a precaution kind of thing. But
yeah, and then there's obviously Max Dyche.
He came on,
and there's a new signing as well that I can never remember.
This is Johnny Donatian from
that's him.
One. So
Thank you very much.
Wasn't in the squad on Saturday, so he's, I think, potentially got a slight knock, but I don't think it's anything serious.
Okay. But are you kind of expecting it to be a Guthrie Moore pairing that maybe the others need to force their way into?
I would imagine so, yeah. And I think in League Two, it's probably a reasonable back two, like central defensive pairing, isn't it? Right, experience-wise, that you do worry about pace a little bit. But they're experienced enough, I think, between them to build up that partnership and to really, if we've got a full pre-season of both of them and they both get fully fit and fully mentally on it, then I think that's a very good central defensive partnership in League Two.
I think the thing that is, I don't want to call it surprising, but the thing that I'm thinking here is that League Two feels like a much better division to sort of blood your younger players and to get them established, let's just sort of say. So therefore, I don't know. I was half expecting this to be the year that Max Dyche became a proper it was like, well, this is your final chance to essentially establish yourself as a centre-back, a starting centre-back for the Cobblers. And there's no doubt whatsoever in my mind that he has the temperament for it, and that he could, he has the desire to do that. The question is just, does he have the ability to be able to take one of those that we've already mentioned that are potentially, by the sounds of it, above him in the pecking order, and overtake them and take their starting spot. Be interesting to sort of see, I think, as to whether or not that is going to happen, because I do think it's harder to do that in League One, and Max has obviously done, I think, very, very well in League Two the last time he was in there with us. You're sort of thinking back to that Sutton game, aren't you, away, where he came back into the side alongside, was it Shering?
Norman was there, wasn't he, on one leg?
Norm, all this, that and the other. So part of me wants him to take the chance, not to get the chance. I want him to take it and make it his own, which would be great. But I think that's mainly a case of any of our youngsters. I always want them to do well. I always want them to take any chance and any opportunity that they get given. You also said that it was a lot more kind of out of possession. We looked fairly solid and looked like we understood what our roles were, and that maybe going forward hadn't potentially been worked on so much yet. Is that a fair thing to say, do you think?
Possibly, and I think Hogg kind of mentioned that after the game as well. That's what it was. I think we just didn't have as many opportunities, which we're never going to against Coventry, to utilise that sort of attacking threat as well. That'll come. I think I feel like all of this is going to be a bit of a evolution rather than revolution kind of situation, which we are an impatient bunch as Cobblers fans as well, but I feel like this is the way it's going to be. And surely relegation inevitably comes with the fan base going, right, well, we've just come down, we should be fighting at the top end of the table. Nothing to say we won't be. I think it's just going to be a case of a little bit of patience going to be needed to get it all connected, right? We seem to be doing all right defensively so far. That's the main block, not being defeated. If we can sign a couple of strikers to add to that, then brilliant. Because it seems to be like the platform is pretty decent so far, despite the head loss of last weekend's 3-0 defeat in a behind closed doors friendly against the Leicester team that both you and Neil lost your heads over.
I mean, I want to make it very clear that I was definitely still in this year has been pants mode when that happened. And I think also there was the added just thrill, but also worry about England at the time as well. It was all
Emotions
just like very emotional for me. I do stand by what I said on social media about I believe that we should start our pre-season campaigns off by going and visiting the local non-league sides away from home, because it's a lovely day out. I mean, that day that we had at Silby that year was great fun. I enjoyed that immensely. But it also it gives you a chance to support some of the non-league sides, because obviously we will take a large amount of supporters that will be paying to get entry, and no doubt buying chips and whatnot from the burger vans, etc., and pints, of course, because it's non-league. You can have a drink at the football, and all this kind of stuff. So, I stand by it from that side, but I also stand by it from the perspective that, on paper, you should be going there and getting a positive result without really. I don't want to be disparaging towards the local, any of them at all whatsoever. But when you're an established football league club of over 125 years, you should be beating those sides, even if it is just by a couple of goals to 0 or 2-1. At least then that would have got the monkey off our back, so to speak, of all of those defeats.
I can kind of see where you're coming from. Especially after the season we had, it was a case of trying to get get off the mark. I do feel like this has given us a lot of positives, though. Eventually, like we look at it on the outside, thinking, "Oh, Coventry are going to hammer us, and it's just going to be another defeat," and all this kind of thing. But actually, I think what we did get out of it was quite decent. Hogg said after the game it wasn't down to him, didn't he, as well? He said the pre-season was done before we got here. So it wasn't really his choice where it came from, I'm not sure. But I suppose it's one of them situations where you go, well, you've been offered a chance to play a Premier League team in pre-season. They can only do this date because of their schedule. Why not kind of thing, I suppose, rather than anything else it could be. But it's a shame we don't, because I used to enjoy them pre-season games as well, like Silby. Rawns, I think we did a lot, didn't we, as well?
We did. Yeah.
That was always a nice one. But,
we see that. I want to clarify, because at least one person turned around and said, "Is it really a guarantee that we would beat those sides? And what damage would it do if we didn't?" Of thing. And I get that completely and utterly, but I think you look at it in terms of percentages, and you would say that it is heavily in our favour to win those games. I do think it's more for the fans, though, in terms of that, and that's the way that I think. Not in terms of defending or excusing my opinions and feelings last week over that Leicester game, but as a way of kind of just expressing it, is that we've spent 6 months watching us not win, or however long it's been, whenever Stevenage, that was February, I think, that we beat them. We spent all that time not winning. I just want to see us
just win. Yeah.
Win. It's more for me.
Yeah.
It's okay, good. This is a reset. I wouldn't have started going, brilliant, we're going to win the league, lads.
Yeah. I guess that's the other thing in it as well. The players sometimes look a lot better than they are if they play against the non-league teams, and you kind of get high hopes. I remember.
You certainly do.
Yeah. I remember going to... I think,
Mr. and Miss Luke, anyone?
Oh, God. I remember going to Froome and thinking Billy Waters was going to be the saviour of our entire existence, because he put in a solid performance there. But we analyse it every year, don't we? But by the end of the day, by the time Swindon kicks off, we won't care less, will we? What happens?
Exactly. That is completely true. Well, in the honour of the summer, the honorary tradition of the summer, as has become tradition, it seems, in football, we're going to take a hydration break. Back in a minute.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
AI is moving fast across the enterprise. But without visibility, it's just chaos. Different tools, different models, different teams using AI in completely different ways. ServiceNow turns that chaos into control. With the AI Control Tower, you see all your AI across the business in one place. What it's doing, what it's done, and what it's about to do. So you stay in control. To put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com.
Welcome back to It's All Cobblers to Me. Danny went to the Coventry game on Saturday at Sixfields. He sat up there in Pod Corner, as is always the way. I think we need to make a bit more about Pod Corner this season, because that is where we sit.
Yeah.
We're quite happy for people to know that that's where we sit. Got no issue with that whatsoever.
Should get a banner up there.
We should get a banner up that just, should it be an England flag with Pod Corner and NTFC in the quarters?
Just paint the owl in our colours.
The owl that hasn't worked for centuries. All the birds have just gone, well, we know that you're fake. Doesn't do anything, does it? It's ridiculous.
Get the owl in there. Pod Corner. It was sparse, though, on the Saturday.
You and one of our Patreon members, Rich.
Rich was there, yeah.
I mean, Rich was worried that he'd lost you at the start of the second half. He thought he'd offended you and you weren't coming back.
Yeah, no, I was in the queue for food, which was a palaver, let's say.
A palaver. What you really want at the football, of course, is a pavlova.
No,
not a palaver.
Can't have a pavlova at a football game, surely.
Not even at a pre-season friendly?
No. Can't be doing
a blancmange, maybe.
No, it gets all over the place. What if we scored? Blancmange everywhere.
Better than throwing your pints of beer all over a box park. I think that would be amazing. Go on then. So it was sparse but still enjoyable.
Yeah, enjoyable afternoon. I think, like I said, there's a lot of Coventry attacking, but I thought we did well. Nice to see the new guys in action. I thought Logan Briggs was probably the standout for me. He showed quite a few decent touches. He was playing left mid. I had him down for more of a kind of attacking midfielder when he signed, from what we'd heard, but he showed that he kind of doesn't have the feel of a youth player, if that makes sense. And there's a young lad from Leicester. Sometimes they've got like you can tell that they're a young player, can't you? Like we've had players in the past, like your Dibbly Doos, who have come in and you're like, oh, you can. It's quite clear that you've not got the experience level. He looks like he's got the physicality as well. He's got the confidence about him. He's got a bit of a swagger about him as well. I think he would be pretty popular, to be honest, because he looks ready to go essentially, and that's what you want from loan players, isn't it? You want to see him ready for the League Two battle, and he looks like is physical enough to last that, and he's got a little bit of quality on the ball as well, which is good to see. Elliot Liston, Sam Hoskins as the front two. I don't think that's going to be the front two when we start. But
let's both say we hope
limited to what they do. Harvey Saunders played right midfield as well, which was a bit of a surprise because he's obviously the striker.
How did he do?
It wasn't in the game that much for me. He worked hard, like we've been told he would. Took a few nice touches, but didn't really see a massive amount from him, really. We had Ty. Ty was in central midfield as well, back in centre mid. He put in some lovely tackles. You'd have been loving it, Charles. Some of his tackles he put in. Yeah, some crunching tackles from Ty, and that's what we want from him this season, isn't it, as well? We want the Ty to come back who we first saw. We want the one that's got a focus, because I feel like he lost his focus a little bit last season, didn't he? And he was flitting from position to position, potentially. Obviously, the whole team was bereft of confidence. So I think if we can get him firing and back to the Ty that we know and love, then get him back doing simple things like he was doing for Salford as well, in the middle of the pitch, running the game, running the midfield. He could be a proper asset, I think, still. And I think that's what we forget sometimes as well. We have got players in there that have done it at League Two level before, like your Campbells, your Fauners, Harvey Hogg as well, having done it at our level with us as well. Guthrie, we've got players who have been there and done it at League Two level. It's just the fact that we've had that run at the back end of the season that's skewed everything. So we really, really need just to kick into gear straight away, don't we? Even if it is just a win and a couple of draws from the first few games, that gets that, like you say, gets that monkey off the back, gets the confidence in these players. That's what we need. And it feels like it's going to be a slow process, but we're getting there. There's definitely sort of really good signs in terms of attitude, I think, at the weekend on Saturday. Very simplistic stuff, but that's what we need, I think, going forward at the start of this season.
Yeah, I think what you said about Ty there is you could say that about a number of players, not just last season for us, but Sam Hoskins is the perennial, just gets put where he's needed kind of thing, and therefore he never really gets a chance to sort of grow into one specific area and make that his own and really go and look really good. I mean, you go back to the year we got promoted, he scored over 20 goals that season. Well, he was playing fairly religiously in one place, and he therefore paid that back. Took the dividends out, didn't he? It was brilliant to see. So hopefully, if we can get players into positions that they then stay in, and they that's where they play, and they don't have to then go and fill in elsewhere every other week or every other game, then that can only be a good thing for us, I think. I don't know whether you saw this, a bit more of a light-hearted look, but I don't know whether you realised, but actually English World Cup assistant referee was part of the refereeing team on Saturday. Stuart Burt.
Hey, bud.
Just got back from the World Cup where he was part of a quarter-final refereeing thing. Couldn't do any of the semi-finals.
It wasn't allowed to.
Allegedly. Wasn't allowed. So he's back, and he's come back. He's come and done this game for us at Sixfields.
Bit of a come
Lovely
down.
old job. Bit of a come down, yeah, from, I don't know, places like Atlanta and New York and all of these different places. I don't know exactly which games he was in charge of. I can't remember where they were. But yeah, a bit of a come down to come to Sixfields, isn't it? But there you go. and immediately started to pick a fight with some Coventry substitutions. I don't know if you saw
I didn't see this in person. I didn't even hear a commotion when it happened. But we saw in the first half them all jogging down there because there's a whole team of Coventry players basically warming up. We thought, where are they going to all go? And at one point they were warming up behind the goal. So I don't know whether this was before or after that. They were, or whether they were told to afterwards. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they went straight behind the goal, but so it must have happened a bit later on. But yeah, it was quite funny seeing it afterwards because he's basically trying to the line out to Stuart Burt, isn't he? Trying to jog back up the line, and he's just bumped into one of their players and given him the biggest scowl of this, like, get off my land kind of situation. Like, what are you doing here?
To me, it was a bit like when you were like, some kids might decide I'm not going to deviate from my path, and so they make themselves, especially like their upper half, really solid, and they give you that kind of like shoulder chest barge type thing. Yeah, that's what it. And I was like, yeah, go on, Stuart, get it. But yeah, the Coventry player had to be held back by his teammates. He was going to start fighting him. I was just like, oh my word!
Do you not know who I am?
It's just so ridiculous. Funny. But I mean, the obvious thing to say here is that the Coventry players were in the wrong. They shouldn't have been there where the linesman has got to do their job.
He's on the line, wasn't he, essentially?
He's on the line. So, and you know, that is why normally the all the substitutes will warm up down at pod corner end at the north end of the west side of the pitch, right? Because the linesman is at the other end. So therefore there's no interference there whatsoever. That's the whole reason why the subs go down to the north end rather than the south end for both teams. So I don't really understand why they went down that end in the first place. I get it. Maybe it's because of the fact that, you know, we've got so many players for both teams and therefore it's easier just to go, right, you guys go one end and you guys go the other. But like you say, maybe go at, you know, behind the goal or the, you know, the touch line for the goal side rather than be on the side where the linesman's trying to do the job. But brilliant. More of that, please, in League Two.
We're going to get more of that.
Nonsense.
100% going to get more of that in League Two, which you'll be able to hear about on the League Two Lounge. No, it's not.
It's not a lounge, Danny.
The Basement Tales. Sorry, I got mixed up. The Basement Tales, only for patrons. Come and join us. We do a weekly review of the action from League Two. Just every week, and I
enjoyed your mind ticking there. It was there in plain sight.
And I think what we found is League Two is a lot more fun than League One in general. So that'll be a lot of fun. So come and join us as a patron.
Yes, why not? Patreon.com/Cobblers to me. And as I said before, you can get 90% off with the code SHOE1. She won. I've got, we're going to have a mailbag episode that will come out tomorrow for you all. But we do have one piece of mail that I thought we should pop into this episode instead. It's from Neil Chapman, Danny. He says, hope you're both well, and hopefully this message is in time for the recording. Ooh. Well, it is, Neil. Yes, Neil. Good. Yeah. Good news. Good work. Neil was at the game yesterday, and here are some of his thoughts on the game and the season ahead. He's got 6 in total. Are you ready?
Yep.
Number 1, Harvey Saunders. He played right mid. Not sure if it's his best position, but had a good, solid game, in my opinion. Looks like he could be a real handful in League Two. That's a positive. That sounds good. Number 2, Sam Hoskins. Just felt he looked a yard off the pace compared to it. I mean, he is 134 years old now.
That's him not coming on the pod.
Yeah, that is him not coming on the pod, isn't it? Love you, Sam. Did you see, by the way, this lovely little teammates feature that the club released on YouTube between John Guthrie and Sam Hoskins?
Yeah.
I particularly enjoyed the way that I think the best thing was the thing that Sam Hoskins couldn't live without, according to John Guthrie, was a booster seat.
Yes.
For his car. I did laugh at that. And then there was another little, like, your small joke, wasn't there, as well, in from from Guffers.
Yeah.
Incredible. I enjoyed
It.
that. If you've not watched it, go to the Cobblers channel, YouTube channel, the official Northampton Town Football Club one. It was very good. There are 2 parts and it's quite fun. So yes, that was good. Maxwell, left back, did basics well. This is the 3rd point from Neil. Looks to be a solid defensive first left back. Basically what you were saying as well there, Danny. Possibly useful on set pieces, delivering into the opposition box. That sounds good. Number 4, Logan Briggs, by far the most impressive in my opinion, says Neil. Quiet game to start with, but slowly grew into it. Think he will be a good addition up and down the left-hand side. Ty Forner is number 5. He played centre mid, solid game but nothing spectacular. More solid, better than last season, but still fills me with a slight doubt, and I feel nervous at times when he's defending. Overall, a solid, good defensive performance from Cobblers without really threatening the Coventry defence, but I suppose that's to be expected against the Premier League side. Thoughts for the season ahead from Neil. It's abundantly clear we need strengthening in the attacking third, a minimum of 2 players in my opinion, plus possibly a central midfielder as well. Anywhere that you else think needs strengthening? I mean, for me, it's definitely 2 up front that need coming in without a shadow of a doubt. Everybody and his dog will know that, won't they?
Well, the dogs will be yapping non-stop, won't they?
Yeah. Good boy.
Yeah, definitely. I think Briggs was pretty decent at it. Someone to get us up the pitch a bit more would be useful as well. Somebody who's more of an out-and-out winger, I guess, who's going to get the ball and be like, right, let's go. Let everybody come with me on my little run up the pitch. Someone to sort of connect the midfield to the strikers and absolutely goal scorers. And it's said every single season, isn't it, that we need this? But if we can get that right, then it'll be a really good start. And potentially, just depth now, isn't it, as well? Depth to the other positions.
Yes.
And making the bench a bit more kind of beefed up, if you will.
Beef it.
But it's only the first friendly. We're all good at the minute.
For now, I'm very, very happy. I've actually I feel like I have reset now, and I am very much just like, right, okay, forget everything else. It's new management team with Hoggy and Doigy. And let's see what happens.
Lovely to
we
see.
Will more than
way, so just
was it? Yeah, did you?
Sometimes came out and directed traffic. A bit of nostalgia there. I was always expecting him to be carrying a stretcher when he came out, but
nice.
Lovely to see him.
Good stuff. I'm sure we will probably talk more about like expectations for the season ahead in a future episode. If we sign any players, then we'll be obviously jumping on to have a chat about those as well. And there's plenty of pre-season games to come too. We are looking to be back now at least once a week until the start of the season. And I hope you've enjoyed that. We've got a mailbag episode to come tomorrow for you as well. So thanks for listening. Thank you, Danny, for joining me for our first pod back.
Thank you.
And, thank you very much for listening. As I said before, I hope you've enjoyed it. You can get involved with the show by simply giving us a follow on social media. Just search Cobblers to Me. We'll see you next time for the mailbag. Bye-bye.
Toodle pips.
Way! There's the cup. There's the pictures you'll see on tomorrow's back pages. The Cobblers are going through into Division 1. Bring them on because we deserve it.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.